Yeah, well, I guess I've always been keen on keeping an eye on climate and weather parameters. Obviously, the main thing to do is to measure rainfall, which we've done here on the place for 30 years, but I also measure temperatures, not just in one place, but have a series of maximum thermometers across the place, and from that I've been able to deduce the relative frost hazard across the place, and that has had a small role to play in pastures and that sort of thing, not as big as yet. In terms of the dryland salinity, we have measured the depth to the water table at weekly interval now for about 22 years, which I understand is the longest weekly series of piezometer readings anywhere in Australia. And along with that, we measure the salinity levels of the groundwater and the dams, and we've seen a marked improvement in the quality of the water and a lowering of the water table. And I guess there's a very apt point in all this, that I'm of the view that if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. Alternatively, there's no point in measuring things if it's not going to have a role in your management. So we try to target where we want to be. In order to be there, what do we have to measure in order to track our progress on that particular aspect of our farming operations. Well, from my analysis on that, I know they talk you've got to have at least 30 years of records and that before you can start quoting you've got climate change, but we have now got 30 years of records, and our rainfall patterns are trending down over that period of about 5 millimetres per year, which doesn't sound much, but over 30 years that's 150 millimetres or 6 inches of rain in the old term, and that can be, you know, the difference between having a good spring and a very, very average spring. So that'd be the main thing I've noticed. But then added on to that, I suppose, is in recent times in particular, when we do have rainfall events, they tend to be further apart, and when they come you can have quite heavy falls. Like in January 2009, we'd gone without rain for quite some weeks, and we got 37 millimetres, and I think it most probably fell in not much more than 37 minutes sort of thing. And it's very, very difficult to manage that sort of rainfall event and make good use of that, because it just overloads the soil systems and that, and you get quite high runoffs. And particularly when you haven't had a good spring before it, you don't have a lot of ground cover to sort of hold it up.